Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's weekly wisdom drop. I am Chelsea Hazlett, and I love that you're here with me. So, last week we named the truth of the messy middle and the gap, that in between space where your outer life hasn't yet caught up to the new frequency you're holding. If you haven't listened, head back and listen to that one. But this week we're talking about the tool you already carry that helps you navigate that space, which is your manifesting blueprint. So, this blueprint is not about becoming a better manifester. You're already made to manifest. It's about becoming conscious of how you uniquely create so you can make intentional choices instead of defaulting to old patterns. So, think of it like a map. You're always moving through vibrational territory, right? You're always broadcasting. Go listen to that one if you haven't listened to that one. Sometimes you're aligned with what you want, what you desire, and sometimes you're in a shadow or an old pattern. But the manifesting blueprint shows you how to naturally shift energetic states and how you find your way back to congruence, back to coherence between the spiritual and the physical. The blueprint holds 7 comparatives, 7 scales, I like to call them, which are ways that your soul orients itself in creation. So each comparative is like a compass point, right? Do I shift through similarity or contrast? Do I utilize process or outcome? Do I orient internally or externally? And on and on. And this isn't theory, it's actually lived navigation. It's not an intellectual neck up exercise. It's very much experiential, grounded in your human experiment. So when you know your blueprint, you can notice, oh, I'm spinning in the shadow expression of contrast, or I'm fixating on outcome when my soul actually creates through process. And with that awareness, you can course correct in real time. So, what I've seen to be helpful over and over again is understanding that there's not one way to manifest for all the souls on this planet. As you come to know the comparatives, each side of the scale, you'll see how one side is very much how our culture programs and trains people to behave or believe is the right way to take action. And there is so much freaking freedom when you understand and live how you are uniquely designed, especially if it's not the way you've been taught. So the manifesting blueprint lets you name where you are. We look at where you're actually showing up on the scale versus where you're structured. You get to see how you're naturally wired to move forward, and then you and you alone get to choose aligned action that matches your soul design. So it doesn't remove the messy middle, it literally is your navigation tool as you journey through. So, my invitation to you this week is to reflect. Where in my life am I navigating unconsciously, maybe? And how would it feel to bring my unique blueprint into the process? When you learn about your manifesting blueprint, you stop trying to manifest like everyone else and you start creating just like you. Thanks so much for being here and listening week after week. I always love hearing all of your reflections. So drop me a comment, DM me, reach out if you have anything to say, most especially if you disagree. But also if you agree, let's get some discourse going here or wherever you can find me. All right. Thanks so much. See you next week.